Now is the time to choose, because we're heading towards the time when you won't be able to choose because you won't be in control of your own mind. It's going to change the human mind and it's going to change the human body. But none of this has to happen if people will only say no now. But of course, you reach a point in your takeover of human perception where you have so much control that there won't even be any resistance, because you won't even manifest the thought to resist or the thought to say no, because you're not in control of your mind anymore. Given, and what I've been doing for 30 years, is encouraging people not to acquiesce to the impositions by authority and the deletions of freedom. You know, I'm not someone who says, oh no, I'm not going to follow this law, I'm not going to follow that law. I look at it and I say, well, okay, is it justified? And if it's justified, that's fair enough. I'll go with that. But when you are imposing things, not for anyone's health, but purely for means of control and behavior modification, which is what this is really all about. It's not being driven by health. It's not being driven by doctors. It's been driven by psychologists. So when I look at this mask situation and I say, I can see that this is not about health, this is about control. And it's about changing the nature of human behavior and also destroying the sense of individuality. Because what they want with this AI connection to the human brain, which they're talking about in around 2030 is the year they've been given, they want to create a hive human mind where basically you're just a computer terminal with no real individuality. So one of the stepping stones to this is to put masks on people's face, and your individuality's gone. Your humanity's gone.
Let's assume, God forbid, that we've acquiesced every single step of the way. What does this world look like?
If you take China today and multiply it 2 or 3 times, that's where we'll be. The brain processes information electrically and electromagnetically. It communicates with the rest of the body electrically and electromagnetically. And by 2022, the 5G impact on the human environment will be vastly more than it is now. And I've been pointing out for so long now, decades, that the body is an antenna. I mean, the whole foundation of the body is a waveform information field from which the body we see is a projection. So any electromagnetic frequencies that adversely impact on the wave electromagnetic frequency balance of the body field is going to have psychological and what we call physical effects. Got to. And we're seeing it more and more. I mean, when I grew up in the 50s, you compare the electromagnetic, technologically generated electromagnetic atmosphere then to now, it's unimaginable. You're talking about millions of times greater. The brain processes information, not only electromagnetically, but within a certain frequency band. And if you can access that frequency band with externally generated frequencies, it's been well known. It's been done by governments like the Russian government, etc. If you can get your frequency right, you can plant thoughts and perceptions in the minds of people, which they will then experience as their own thoughts and their own decisions, but actually externally being put in. So the more you build this grid of frequency, this sub-reality, and by 2022 it will be some way advanced from what it is now, your potential to control the human mind will be greatly advanced even from what it is now. But none of this has to happen if people will only say no now. But of course, you reach a point in your takeover of human perception where you have so much control that there won't even be any resistance, because you won't even manifest the thought to resist or the thought to say no, because you're not in control of your mind anymore. This is the progression towards complete AI control of the human mind. So when I say I do understand why people are frightened to say no, but if we don't, the consequences are going to be unthinkable. I'm not messing about. I'm not, talking symbolically. We are literally at the cusp between what remains of human freedom and the end, completely the end of human freedom, even the ability to think what you choose to think. So, now is the time to choose, because we're heading towards the time when you won't be able to choose, because you won't be in control of your own mind. I was writing about the basic themes of this in the mid-1990s. I started to uncover all the basic foundation themes by then of where it was meant to go. So it's no surprise what's happening to me at all. A bit surprised in the speed of it, and the speed of it has come from the speed of acquiescence. I've been writing about what I call a mind virus. A mind virus that takes over the human mind via the subconscious and feeds perceptions out of the subconscious into the conscious mind, which the conscious mind takes to be its own thoughts and perceptions. This mind virus, and I use the word virus in terms of a computer virus taking over a system, works in ways that isolate what I call five-sense mind from the greater consciousness. I would symbolize it like this, as I have in some of the books. You've got someone at a computer, and you've got the keyboard and you've got the mouse. And that is symbolic of expanded consciousness. And then you've got the computer, which is symbolic of five-sense mind, that level of us that's directly interacting with this reality. And if you get a computer virus, basically you've got the person at the keyboard banging the keys and tapping the mouse. The computer's not responding. It's gone its own way. The virus has taken it over. And the virus is now driving the behavior of the computer. The operator's lost control. And that is precisely the effect of this mind virus. It isolates five-sense mind through the subconscious from expanded consciousness. It's a mind blindness that convinces the conscious mind that it is not blind. Now, I'm seeing that everywhere during this pandemic, because so much that has been going on in the subconscious before this has been brought to the surface by all this. That's why you're starting to see things and see responses and behavior that are like, what? But actually it's always been there. It's just been brought to the surface now where you can see it. I see this in people who are blind in their mind to what's actually happening, but have totally convinced themselves not only are they not blind to what's happening, but they know what is happening. So I hear people speaking with confidence and with assurance about what's happening. And what's coming out of their mind is simply a repetition of the official version of what's happening. But they think they've worked it out because their mind is blind, but they think it's not. It has to hide itself from the conscious mind, because once the conscious mind is aware of it, the influence is gone. If I'm manipulating you behind your back, I can get away with it. But once you know I'm manipulating you, I can't get away with it, right? Because the manipulation has been brought out of the subconscious and the unseen into the seen, and now you can deal with it. Is that once you acknowledge that it exists, and once you acknowledge its influence and impact on your perceptions, it's gone. Its influence is finished. Because you've brought it out of the subconscious into the conscious, and once this comes into the conscious, it's finished.
you.